Hi everyone, this is the Jade Marrisa Podcast and this is episode 9. I'm here talking to you from Thailand about the good, bad and ugly in combat sports and pop culture. And I'm here today with Matt Lucas. He is a commentator for Max Muaythai, a Muay Thai journalist, fighter and book author. Hello.
Hey Jade, how are you? Thanks for inviting me on the show.
Thank you very much for coming here. Yeah. I'm excited. So Matt, I said you're a commentator for Max Muaythai, a Muay Thai journalist, and an author. Is there anything else? Or fighter as well?
Yeah, I'm more in the tuk-tuk stages of my fight career, so...
What does that mean?
It's like more, more... Here and there, recreational. I'm a little overweight, so I don't want people to think I'm that serious of a fighter.
Okay, but how many fights have you had now?
In total, I've had about 30 or so.
That's a lot. That's quite a lot.
I did interclubs or smokers back in America, amateur fights, like semi-pro fights, and I've had 13 fights out here. I fought earlier this year, but I never really fought at super high stakes.
Right. Just for the fun of it.
Yeah, just for the fun of it. And at one point, I was more serious about it, and that's how I got into working as a journalist and sort of commentating and other things, but I never really made it that much.
Where in the States are you from?
So I was originally born in upstate New York, but I spent a long time in Oakland, which is by San Francisco.
And you were doing Muay Thai there?
Yeah, so I was doing Muay Thai at a Fairtex spinoff called Pacific Ring Sports.
Oh, okay.
So originally Fairtex went to Arizona in 1993, Chandler, Arizona. Wow. And then it moved to San Francisco with Alex Gong, Ganyal, Jongsanan, and a few others. And then from there, the Thai guys sort of split off. Mm-hmm. And Ganyal moved to Pacific Ring Sports. And prior to Ganyal, it was Coke. So
okay, yeah.
I trained with Coke for a long time, along with the gym owner, Mike Regner.
Are all those guys still in the States?
Yeah, so now Coke is is teaching out of Redwood Muay Thai. Ganyal is still at Pacific Ring Sports. Jongsanan has his own gym, Wooden Man.
Called Wooden Man?
Yeah, that's his nickname out.
Oh.
You didn't know that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah,
I'm too young.
Too young. Too young. You're making me feel old. Am I that much older than you?
Well, you were talking about 1993 when they went there.
Well, I wasn't. I just know that.
How old are you?
I'm not going to say. Wait, how old do you think I am?
I know you're older than me.
Yeah, well, that's good.
Okay, we'll leave it at that. All right.
No, I'm 37.
Oh, wow.
I think we've talked about this before,
Have
too.
we? I can't remember. Maybe I just wanted you to say
Wait, how old are you?
I'm almost 27. A whole decade.
Yeah, it's like a different generation.
It is, but it's good, because we have both our different opinions and experiences in the Muay Thai field. Also, me more based in England with that history and you with the States. Yeah. So that's good. It's interesting. I remember when I went to California and they have Crew Santi there. And there's still a lot of Thais over there, actually. Malakat's still there. Uh-huh.
He has a gym, I think now. One of his students, Manny Mancha, has a gym. Of course, David Huey has Muay Thai America, where you went, correct? And now there's about a dozen or so Muay Thai gyms in Los Angeles.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, Los Angeles doesn't have as much of a traditional Thai background because they didn't have a Fairtex-like entity, but they still have a lot of good roots in Muay Thai and here in Thailand.
I mean, LA is so big, though. So, they're definitely scattered around there. Mm-hmm. So, when did you come to Thailand?
So, my first trip to Thailand was probably in 2007 or so.
Oh.
So
just your first trip?
Yeah, my first trip.
Okay.
First time ever. And I came and I trained and fought. I trained at Ingram.
Oh, all right.
So, I was there. I fought at Teparasit Stadium.
Mm-hmm. In Pattaya?
In Pattaya. Whoa. This was when Fairtex sponsored the gym too, so it was a long time ago.
Fairtex sponsored Ingram Gym?
No, Fairtex sponsored Teparasit Stadium. At the time, a lot of the foreigners fought there. That was the go-to place for foreigners to fight. So I fought there. I went back to the States. I kept fighting, came back out. I fought at Raja Demnoon out of Ingram Gym. I went home. I came back. And then I went home and I came back and I stayed. So a lot back and forth. And then I came and stayed. And that was...
what made your decision to come and live in Thailand?
Well, a couple of things. I didn't really want to stay in America that much anymore. It's boring. Oakland and San Francisco were getting priced out.
Right.
Because of the tech
boom.
San
Francisco is very expensive.
Yeah, it's very, very expensive. Basically the same prices as Japan, Tokyo, or New York City.
Yeah.
It's, it was boring.
That's boring. It was boring in America. So I moved to Thailand.
America, boring. No, I'm kidding.
I had fun
Not
there.
really, but but you were like vacationing, like
I was studying.
Yeah, for a few months.
A year.
Well,
I was supposed
12 is a few,
I was supposed
right?
to be there 2 years, but I missed home.
Yeah, see? Because America might be a little boring.
And also, no, not because of that, because I miss my gym, I miss Muay Thai, I just miss my life in Thailand.
Yeah. Okay, that's a good reason why I moved out. I moved out for Muay Thai.
Okay, that's great. How was Ingram Gym?
Ingram was very good for me at the time because the owner, Suzuki, is very, very disciplined. He has Japanese style, very disciplined. I really, really liked it. He had a good structure to it. So it was really good for me in a lot of ways. I tried out a few other gyms at the time, and I did not like them.
Oh, really?
I felt like the training wasn't hard enough. It wasn't structured enough.
I've never been to Ingram Gym. I've passed it a lot. It's right on Rama 4, Kong Toi. But I always know of it as like the Japanese Muay Thai gym.
And I also like the Japanese students and sort of influence because the Japanese are pretty humble. They're hardworking. They're not lazy.
Yeah.
So those are good stable mates to be around.
I agree. I do agree. They're probably a lot more punctual as well than their Thai peers. Is there any like Thai champions or Thai fighters there at the time?
They had a guy, Dao Singh, who is Raja Demnoon ranked. They also had Sagapet, who's now a trainer down at at Revolution Gym in Phuket. Right. Suzuki, I think, was one of the first ones to introduce Bukao to K1 as well.
Wow.
I can't remember exactly what the deal was, but I remember him having had some sort of hand.
It's strange because he's not really around the Muay Thai scene so much.
Yeah. I haven't talked to him in a while. He had one of his fighters at Max a bit ago. And we just chatted very briefly, but.
Okay. Who are your favorite fighters then and now?
Then being
whenever, like
whenever.
Favorite fighter, favorite Muay Thai fighter in history, the golden era, who was not fighting. Yeah.
I mean, I think
anyone?
I think like at different time periods, I like different people. And I like them for different reasons. I like Jongsunan a lot. I know him as a person. He's really fun. He's a really good cook. Not that
a lot of Muay Thai fighters are really good cooks, though.
I'm not sure that's true.
Really? The ones that always come by my gym, they're always in the kitchen cooking.
Oh, really?
But mostly it's like bakapao, like fried meat with like a chili and basil or something.
I don't know about that. But Jongsunan does a lot of fusion food, so I like that.
Master Chef.
But so I liked him as a golden era fighter. I like Lamamoons or Sumali a lot as well. Moving forward, I liked Bukao back in the early K1 days. I'm not so much of a fan of him now. I feel like his fights aren't competitive. It's more of a show, which I understand. That's sort of a progression in a career.
And also, he has to keep up his name. He can't sabotage himself anyway, so that means losing fights.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, he built an empire for himself. At this point, he needs to be protecting his empire and capitalizing on it.
Like he was supposed to fight with Yosenkai.
Yeah, why? Like, I wouldn't do that if I was Bukaw.
Yeah, well, he didn't. So there you go.
I mean, obviously, Yodson Clyde is in a different position, and he's chosen a different bit of a career path for himself where he's like, I fight anyone.
Yeah.
And I respect that more.
Yeah, I think so too.
But
even after having knee surgery and being moved around China and here and there.
But, you know, that does not always mean that you're the best businessman or you're making the most money. But
Bukaw is just an exception, though. He's very lucky.
Well, I think he's lucky. He's also smart as well. Getting good management, really capitalizing on his career.
Yeah.
Like, he's a good fighter, but he is not Thailand's best fighter.
Agree. Totally agree.
Like, if you look, even recently, he fought Luis Passos for All-Star fight.
Yeah.
And he beat up Luis. Luis was a very game.
But it wasn't a knockout, though.
It wasn't a knockout.
So that's,
and then at the next All-Star fight, his stablemate Superbon Bonchamek murked Luis.
Okay, but the reason for that...
Are you going to defend Luis?
Yeah, I am, because I know the story.
Oh, okay.
They told Luis about the fight maybe a couple months before. They just mentioned it to him and got him training. And then after that, they went silent until maybe a week before, and they still hadn't bought his ticket to fly over to Thailand.
Well, so there's Bukaw's superior management.
Yeah, just a few days out before the fight, then they finally got him a flight. Maybe it was like... And he arrived in Thailand the day before the weigh-in.
Yeah.
Then had to weigh in the day after, obviously, and then go to fight. So, yeah, you're not in the best condition mentally and physically.
Yeah, in terms of climate and sleep.
So many of it. And stress as well. If, you're waiting for one of the biggest fights of your life and then the manager is not even sending you the flight ticket.
Yeah. Those are totally understandable counterpoints.
Yeah, but there's a lot of things people don't know, behind the scenes. There's so much.
I still think Superbon is a better fighter.
Than Bukaw.
Yeah,
I kind of agree.
I guess it's not really that controversial of an opinion then.
Yeah, I think
so. If both of us agree. Yeah,
because, Superbon, he fights anyone at the moment, and obviously we know that Bukaw is being catered. You know, he has his selected
opponents. Yeah. But that's a bit of the game.
It is a bit of the game. Changes in the industry whilst in Thailand. Your time being in Thailand,
Yeah, so something you've talked about before is promotions coming and going.
A lot.
A lot. I've been here 3.5 years. You've listed off some of them. Super Fight, MX was gone and it came back. Max has changed its format from a weekly show to daily. There's been all sorts of changes.
PPTV. Also, that used to have fights on PPTV.
And then what else?
Muay Thai Angels.
Muay Thai Angels was. It was good, but it was very hit or miss. Or scheduling was,
really bad,
really terrible,
really unorganized. They were in a lot of debt.
Yeah, womp womp.
Okay. What else was there? Fights that have been and gone? Yeah, you said Super Muay Thai. Yeah. Also, Super Champ, which we just discussed earlier. They're still going on. They're newer, but they've changed the purse for the fighters from it started off around 20,000 baht or 18,000 baht, and then it went to 15, and then now it's at 12. And that's exactly the same route that Super Muay Thai did as well. Yeah. It started off at a good purse, and then it went lower and lower and lower.
But you see this generally as an industry trend as well. A lot of promotions will start off very strong and then sort of wither. I
don't think they plan it very well long term.
I agree.
That's a lot of Thai. That's a very Thai mentality. They don't really plan things long term in a lot of things.
But you also look at some of the other more international promotions or promotions in America. Yeah. The same thing has happened. For instance, Lion Fight.
Yeah.
They started off very, very strong, flying in international fighters. To some extent, they still do. And then for a while, they were in pretty big economic trouble, or that's what it appeared like, at least.
Oh, they lost their TV license.
They lost their TV license. Yeah. They've switched sponsorships. So these are sort of natural things that happen in the industry. I don't think it's necessarily cause for alarm. It's just, company A is going down, company B is coming up, company C is
at least
right
in
the
the
middle.
States, though, they're able to sell pay-per-view and tickets, whereas in Thailand, it's a little bit of a different story with that.
Yeah, I mean, I think Thailand is a totally different economy as well, because no one in Thailand will pay to go see a fight.
Yes.
It is a fight-saturated country, so why pay to go see anything?
Totally agree. And I think that was a big issue of One Championship as well. Like, they're struggling with that, and also struggling with finding a Thai fan base, because, you know, in Singapore, they promote their fighters, or around Asia, they promote their fighters as heroes. And I don't think that really can ride well in Thailand.
Yeah, I think, you know, it's just difficult because they have different cultures they're trying to connect, and different storylines work better in different cultures. But they're trying to do an overarching sort of entertainment sphere, if that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. And I think they shouldn't do that. I think they should really study the market that they're going into and see what the behaviors and what the people know in that place. So Thailand, obviously, we know a lot about the fight scene because it's been around forever here. So you need to understand the Thai person's mind, the general Thai person's mind towards fights.
Yeah. I think, you know, it also takes a lot of time to do that.
Yeah.
And a lot of money and investment.
But are one lacking money and investment?
I don't know. It doesn't appear like it to me. But also a lot of times I do think you have to understand that these companies have other financial pressures on them, so that their long-term growth plans or maybe some of the infrastructure they have to ignore immediately in order to please investors. I'm not saying it's a good thing, obviously. I'm just saying that's the way capitalism works. That
definitely makes a lot of sense. There is a lot of investors pumping into One Championship, so they definitely have to make those happy. Yeah, for sure. In Max Muaythai, so you're a commentator on Max Muaythai. Have you commentated on any other promotions or strictly Max?
Strictly Max. I'm basically a solo Max guy.
And how long have you been commentating?
I've been there for 3.5 years now. So,
you've been in Thailand?
I've been in Thailand for 3.5 years. I basically moved out here, and then a month or so later, Rob Cox, the head of the team, also a super long-term journalist and commentator.
So long in the Muay Thai scene.
20 plus years. I'd interviewed him about 10 years ago. And when I moved out here, he was like, Matt, do you want a job?
Wow, that's so lucky.
It was very fortunate timing. Yeah. I mean, also I'd done all this work, staying busy, writing. I wrote a novel. I stayed in the sport for a long time.
Yeah, because you're a Muay Thai journalist.
Yeah.
Only Muay Thai? Or you do other...
Basically only Muay Thai.
And for...
So I've written for Vice. I've written for Fightland, Rough Asia. I've written for a litany of websites. I've appeared on Milk Blitz, Street Bomb, My Muay Thai, which was very, very popular back in the early 2000s, which is now defunct. I've had stuff published on the Muay Thai Guy, and like a variety of other websites and publications as well. But anyways, I moved out here, and he was like, "You want a job?" Wow. I was like, "Oh, that sounds cool. Like, great. Why not?" And then I got hired on.
And then after that, Max Muay Thai obviously started from one show per week to every day. So you're working a lot more. Yeah.
So I'm actually only at 2 days a week because my other job as the social media manager at Fairtex takes up some of my time. Right. But originally I started at 1 day a week, and then 2, and then 3, and then I went back to 2. And then the company Max went from 1 day a week, 2 days a week, 3 days a week, every day of the week.
Well, yeah, because I think it went to 2 and 3, and then it was still on channel 8, and then you changed over to channel...
They're on
Now TV?
Yeah, they're on 28 now, I believe.
Yeah.
So they've changed around. They've also started publishing on Facebook and YouTube, and they're a content machine.
Yeah, they're great. Like they've got it right. But I mean, they've invested so much.
Yeah, I mean they built the stadium. They also, about 2 years ago, the stadium burned down.
Yeah, it was a bad fire.
Yeah, it was a bad fire. It was about 6 months or so into me working there. Rob calls me up and says, "Your workplace is on fire."
I remember on social media, everyone's posting all these photos and in flames.
Yeah.
Crazy. And they built it back so fast.
So fast.
Oh my God.
To be honest, I'm not sure that we even missed one show.
No, because they did it in the car park behind,
we
after.
did it in the parking lot right behind the stadium, which was sort of cool. I mean, it was a little hotter. But
I know. I remember taking my fighter at that time, and I was like, "Wow, like I'm sweating like crazy watching the fights here."
It wasn't terrible, but it was definitely hot. And then he rebuilt the stadium within 4 months or so.
Yeah.
So, the owner, Nawa, is obviously very invested in the sport.
Well, he told me he just wants to win over the other promotions.
Yeah. Well,
but
it's a competitive game.
They've definitely done very well.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they have a broadcast on the application around different countries as well.
Yes.
And on Fox Sports or on some sports channel.
Yeah, to be honest, it slipped my mind where else it is published to, but definitely the app. YouTube is very active, and then Facebook, and then of course it's broadcast live out here in Thailand.
Yeah, I was just talking to the son of the son of Nawad, called Pej, and he's the owner of Max Muaythai. So he gave it to his son and daughter to pretty much look after Max Muaythai Stadium, because now Max Muaythai have also started promoting like large events similar to Thai Fight, right? How often, do you know?
I think they're shooting for monthly, every other month. They recently had one in Khon Kaen. So we'll see where they travel around to.
Is Nawat, who's the owner of Max Muaythai, is he associated with the government of Khon Kaen?
Yeah, he recently won the election. I believe he's the governor of Khon Kaen.
Okay, but he never lives there. He lives in Pattaya.
No, he relocated and stayed
really?
in Khon Kaen. I think he comes to Pattaya occasionally.
That's why he gave it to his son and daughter to look after.
But I'm not that well versed in politics, so I don't know if it's the governor or prime minister or, what the title is. I don't know. The prime minister. Khon Kaen is its own country. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm American. My understanding of government and geography is terrible.
Well, yeah, he just in government.
Over there.
He always told me he was Saw in Thai.
Saw.
And it's one position in government. He was always very proud. I didn't really know what it meant. I'm like, okay, good for you, Dima. Okay. Yeah, so as I said, I was talking to Pej, and I want to get one of my fighters on Max Muaythai, and they do a similar or a sort of contract thing where they want the fighters to only exclusively fight on Max Muaythai.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I mean, I think it's good and bad. It's sort of, obviously for Max Muaythai, they want to build fighters. They want to build storylines for people, and
really? I never see them promoting.
Well, they want to more like build fighters.
Yeah.
So that means they want you as a fighter to stay with their promotion. If they spend all this time building you up and then you run away, it's sour grapes for them.
Does the purse increase as like when you're there longer?
If you have a contract with them, the purse is generally better.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, because I know like on the regular day it's 3,000 baht.
Yeah, the daily shows.
Yeah, so that's Monday to Friday. And then on the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, it starts from 8,000 and goes to around 12.
Yeah, and it increases.
Then we have the bonuses.
Yeah, the bonuses, and it also increases if you have a contract with them.
Ah, that's good to know. Yeah. Okay, so then I will definitely try and put my fighter on there just to see how it goes as well, because the other promotions right now are pretty dry.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard because... like, for instance, you look at all the Glory fighters that just signed with Glory, and they have a non-exclusive contract, so they can't fight outside of Glory.
Right.
And then one championship comes up out of nowhere, and they're offering the big bucks.
Right.
And now all the Glory fighters are looking at one championship and being like, oh, damn, I fucked my life up. And but really what they did is they made the best choices possible at that time.
No, yeah.
And it's
Glory,
very hard to see the future in an ever-changing landscape.
and still to get signed to a big promotion is not easy. So even that, they should still be proud of themselves and happy with that situation that they have.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying Glory is bad or anything. It's just these things happen where one company starts offering more money.
Yes.
And then the talent wants to move.
Right. It's just, like I said to my trainer the other day after I had the conversation with the Max Muaythai, and I said to him, yeah, I want my fighter to fight on Max. And then they was like, yeah, but they can't fight anywhere else. So I was like, but do you have him lined up to fight anywhere else?
Yeah.
He's like, no. And how's it going finding fights? Yeah, nothing. Okay, so either nothing or Max.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, the thing about Max is also it's very stable.
Yeah, I agree
and
with that.
They have a stadium which is a real focal point. Like they have a building which, really cements it into the infrastructure of the city and in the sport.
It's a good location.
It's a good location in Pattaya. They have a good deal with a lot of Chinese tourist groups. So they have a TV deal that is not going away.
Yeah, because even though the Chinese tourism has dropped in Thailand, I still see that Max are still getting Chinese tourists. They're doing
still
well.
Tons and tons of tourists coming in and out, providing a base pay for the stadium plus the TV deal. It looks like Max is here to stay for a long time. If you build a building, you're going to have the infrastructure to put into it.
Yeah, they have no liabilities because they purchase everything for themselves. And then they even have gyms scattered around Chonburi province. Something crazy, 8 to 10 gyms they have, right?
Yeah, so it's more they have a gym of their own, Max Muaythai gym. They also, one of the promoters, Jing, is in charge of Kai San Suk Gym. Which is basically a Max feeder gym. I mean, there's basically all these smaller gyms that regularly go to Max.
Yeah.
Because it's right down the road.
Right.
Everything is convenient. It's reliable fights. They can build there. So, like I said before, it's created its own economic ecosystem. You have people, taxi drivers that are there every week. You have food stall vendors that are there all the time. Even the beer girls that sell beer or the ring girls. There's a big employment network.
Yeah, it's a good setup, definitely, stadium. And they're pretty professional as well.
Yeah, they have it down.
Yeah.
For
even when they think a fighter is kind of not throwing so much energy as they should be doing in the fight, I can always see the staff of Max Muaythai in the corner, telling the trainers tell them to do this, tell them to do that, pick up the pace or something. They want the fights to be very entertaining because that's what they are. They're entertainment Muay Thai.
Yeah, they're entertainment Muay Thai. They generally you don't see that many mismatches, which is good, and also something that has developed over time. They have the feeder system of having people perform on the daily show, and then you get to move up to the weekends so they can judge you a bit better. Also, just having it go for so long, the promoters and matchmakers are able to determine skill level a lot easier, that just takes time.
Yeah, that's good. And Rob Cox, he only works at Max, or he still works in the bigger stadiums?
He's just at Max right now, and then he does do some freelance.
Muay Thai Focus.
So that was a side project of his. He does do some freelance writing still as well.
Okay.
So he's still pretty active, and along with that, he helps run Keep on Teep Gym.
Oh yeah.
And then his wife.
Also, both of you are back and forth from Pattaya all the time.
Yeah,
Why do you live in Bangkok? Why don't you just live in Pattaya?
I don't know. I mean, Pattaya is grown on me, but I sort of like Bangkok too.
I do. I prefer Bangkok.
You're a big city girl.
But am I though? Because I live on the outskirts.
Yeah, you live in the cuts, girl. You're like a big city. I live in the cuts, girl.
Yeah, like I'm able to go to the city when I want.
Yeah.
But I like to be where the air is a little less polluted.
It took, just for our listeners, it took me about 40 minutes to get out here.
That's not bad.
That's a long time. That is a long, long time.
Hey, so on some days it takes you like 40 minutes to move like 1 kilometer in Bangkok.
Yeah, but I don't do that.
You have a bike?
I get on motorbikes or I take public transit. If you are sitting in traffic for 40 minutes a day, like regularly, there's something wrong with you.
A lot of people do that though. Actually.
Yeah, there's something wrong with a lot of people. I don't know what they're doing.
I think they just prefer their own comfort of their car rather than being squashed like on the BTS, on the SkyTrain or whatever.
You could like sit, okay, you get out of work at 6 or so, go to the gym for an hour or two.
What if they have families, people at home waiting for them?
Make sure the kids are going to the
Video
gym
call.
too. Yeah. Video call.
Yeah, okay. Opinion on one championship. Because like really one championship has not been around that long really.
Yeah.
And it's totally boomed and like now there's been so much drama and hype over the past tournament, the kickboxing featherweight tournament. So I want your opinion on that. I want your opinion on everything regarding one championship.
Yeah, so overall, I think one championship is doing a good thing. They are promoting the sport. They're, at least trying to push towards being fair and like paying the athletes a lot, which I am a huge fan of. They've done some things like the weight cutting. Now they do hydration tests in order to try and maintain athletes' weights over long periods of time, which I think is good.
Well, they learn their lesson from that. That's why they had to do that. Yeah.
And I mean, like you said, it's a new company, so I still think that they're going through a lot of growth spurts and problems, some of which we've seen recently.
Yeah, it's been a lot of drama considering the tournament, the kickboxing tournament, when Peshmerga won, and then now Bolt pulled him out because they announced a rematch with Petrosian and Peshmerga. Chatty just posted something about the rules of kickboxing and of Muay Thai, saying that really, it was a very big conflict. But
yeah, I think it's hard because you have all these different worlds clashing together, and not everyone knows what's going on. Not everything is clear all the time in terms of rule sets. Like, I've been a long-term Muay Thai and kickboxing fan. I do not know specifically the clinch rules
of one championship
of kickboxing. My understanding of what
I think a lot of promotions have different rules.
Yeah, and that's the other thing.
Yeah, it's confusing.
It's confusing, and if it's confusing for me as a fan, and if it's confusing for me as a fan, it must be very confusing for an athlete.
Yeah.
Who's like, I'm just trying to fight, bro. Yeah. Like, what,
And it's a shame because I think one championship, what they're trying to do was really promote each of the martial arts that they have. And by promoting them, getting more fans. And when you gain these fans, what you need to do is educate them on the styles that they're watching. And if the fighters themselves don't even understand, then how can the viewers? Yeah,
I think, but it's also very, very difficult. You have a lot of different cultures and language barriers. Their show is very international. So it's like, oh, we need to explain things to people in Thai. We need to explain.
No, but like.
And Chinese, Japanese.
They have people who help them. Like Pet Shindy have English speakers at Pet Shindy. So I don't know. But maybe
I think that's a valid counterpoint.
I don't think it's a translation issue. I think it's just that the matter of fact, like they're not pushing the clarity of the rules enough. Yeah, like you're fighting kickboxing rules. Here, this is the rules. That's it. But they're probably not doing that.
Yeah.
So, lesson learned.
Yeah, lesson learned. And the world will go on, and hopefully, the fighters keep fighting and
let's maintain the respect of martial arts. What we're supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
We're supposed to be proud that we are like a respectful kind of sport, even though we fight inside the ring, but outside we're supposed to be friends and like respect each other. But now recently, a lot of the fighters have not really been showing that type of sportsmanship.
Well, I think it's hard because tensions are elevated. One championship has done a lot of good things in terms of publicity, especially for fighters that normally don't get that much.
Yeah.
So when there's that heightened sort of publicity, people sort of act incongruously with how they normally act. It's not their fault. They're just unaware. It's like anytime you start getting on stage, you sort of blather about a bit.
Yeah.
You fuck up, do the wrong thing. You stutter, you go, oh. It's not really your fault, but
that's true. People can always like just say something they didn't mean to say or whatever. It's the same thing on social media though, that you can announce things out of emotion and then maybe regret it 10 minutes later, but it's already gone viral. So like maybe Boat's post about pulling Pechmarka out of the tournament, what do you think? Do you think it was genuine, or do you think it was an act of emotion?
I mean, I definitely understand Boat's position. Again, the big thing about all this is it's really complicated.
It's so complicated.
Because, for instance, myself, I work at Fairtex, their equipment supplier for one championship. I don't want to be bad-mouthing one championship because that is bad for me as an employee, for someone that's like,
everyone's connected in the Muay Thai world.
Connected.
Like, even though, me too. I mean, like, Joe, that's what comes train at my gym, and like, I have friends in the industry.
And Joe's in the tournament.
I have friends, like, everyone's connected.
Yeah, one championship had a promotion at Raja Demnern that Pet Indy helped put on for Raja Demnern's birthday show. So it's more complicated. It also sort of heightens tension sometimes.
Also, Petrosian trains at Evolve.
Petrosian is an involved athlete. So it's
Evolve is the gym in Singapore that's owned by Chatri, who is the promoter of one championship.
Yeah.
So everyone is connected. Spiderwebbing out.
Yeah. So you tug one string, and a lot of other strings get tugged along with it.
Yeah.
And so I think it's difficult. I feel bad for Pet Moricott.
I do. You saw the video after he won, and he was crying of joy.
Yeah. I mean, I totally understand that too. Like, I for sure didn't think he would win that fight.
I didn't either. And in the running for $1 million.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, so it was a huge victory for him. And then afterwards, he was like, I'm going to run to the airport, like 40 kilometers. I'm going to become a monk because, like, I'm going to show my gratitude. And he's a
Why did he do the run, though?
I don't know.
He said a run Forrest Gump moment where I just kept on running.
I mean, it was, he's, like, trying to pay back. And, he comes from a pretty poor background.
He's Burmese.
Yeah.
Myanmar.
So, like, I definitely feel a lot for him and how.
But is he, or is it the other one that's Burmese? No, I forgot now.
Pet Dam or.
Yeah, Pet Dam.
I'm not sure.
One of them is. I forgot now. Sorry.
We'll include that in the show notes. Right, Jade.
Right, I'm sure. I will do my homework.
Okay, good.
Okay, so
So, anyways, I guess it's just complicated.
They're also right now. I think that because of the controversy, they're kind of blaming the referees. Also, the judge and referee. Is that fair? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I think it's just a mistake, and I think a lot of parties are involved. Of course, they don't want to take the responsibility, but if everyone did, just a little percentage each person, then we can just kind of move on.
Yeah, basically. I mean, it's hard to be accountable for your actions. It's even more it's even harder to be accountable when there's a lot of money and jobs and attention at stake.
Yeah.
But people ultimately need to be accountable for their own actions. Whether good or bad, people need to own what they do a bit more.
Yeah, I agree. And
that goes from the very top to the very bottom.
I definitely agree. And I think that now, like, after all of that drama, it's actually starting to die out a little bit now. Like, everyone's calming down, the fans and the athletes. So let's just figure out the next step and move forward.
The other thing is these sort of controversies happen all the time in other sports.
Yes.
So the history of boxing is littered with these sort of things. Western boxing, also the UFC, I'm sure football.
Yeah, and everything blows
American
over so
football
fast.
And soccer have these sort of things. So like this is sports. It's entertainment, it's sports, it's the world.
And as we spoke about the other day, they all have their own hooligans as well.
Yeah.
Because there was a fight that broke out with the gamblers at Regiment Stadium just a couple of days ago. And there's always things happening. But yeah, I mean, in all sports, they have the hooligans, right? They always have their fans that get a bit too rowdy.
Yeah.
So
I remember when the San Francisco Giants won the World Series. It was like a minor riot in San Francisco. So, I mean, these things just happen.
It's crazy, no? Over sports. But yeah, if there's money involved, of course, and pride.
And pride, it's the way it goes.
Yeah. And so another one I want to talk about is UFC Fight Pass. Now they've started doing Muay Thai program and streaming Muay Thai to the States. But, like, I think they've targeted a lot of the stadium Muay Thai, which is the 5 rounds Muay Thai, which typically starts off with round 1 and 2 very slow. Then they'll fight in round 3 and round 4, and then round 5 they'll just kind of dance around because they already know who's won the fight. Yeah. So how do you think that's going to translate to the American audience? Yeah,
I think it's very difficult because it's basically now I see 2 different types of Muay Thai in Thailand. Muay Thai is entertainment, and then the stadium Muay Thai.
Yes.
So Max Muaythai is definitely entertainment. So a super fight, one championship, other shows like that. They want the fighters to really collide.
Yeah, which is great for entertainment. Great for getting an audience.
Yeah, and it's great for casual fans to look and understand what's going on. Person A is beating up person B. Okay, I understand that. In the stadium game, so much of it is about points and, structure, and it's pretty complicated to understand the scoring.
Yeah, because even though when you watch a fight, you think, person B's won, but actually person A will win, and the gamblers are happy with that. But if you think person B won and they raise his hand, maybe the gamblers are not happy with that, and then they'll riot in the stadium. Yeah. So it's difficult to watch, really. Yeah. So I always am a proponent of, hey, more attention to sport is a good thing. Do I think that it will last? I don't know. We've seen in the past things come and go, promotions come and go. Well, that's one thing about stadium Muay Thai. It's not coming and going. It's not, here to stay. It is here to stay. I don't think that it will grow internationally just because of format, and also because there's only so many gamblers to sort of support the sport, versus you can have a lot more casual viewers. Yeah. So I think entertainment Muay Thai is probably going to grow a lot more. That's why I think Muay Thais on YouTube, they've done it right. Like they will go to the stadium Muay Thai, but yet they'll just film it and they'll cut out the highlights and put that together. And I think that's the perfect and easiest way for any audience to watch that. Yeah,
Muay Thais is pretty good. They would cut out basically the first 2 rounds normally, which is perfect, and then just include. It's basically a 3-round fight.
Yeah, I mean, I've done judging and refereeing courses here in Thailand, and they actually don't even score round 1 and 2. So it kind of sucks, unless it's like a knockdown and an 8 count,
Yeah, I mean, it's just a different scoring system, and different scoring systems appeal to certain types of audiences. So you have to, I think that's an important thing to understand. Like this scoring system of, Stadium Muay Thai appeals to the gamblers.
So I think it would be ideal for UFC Fight Pass to go to a lot of other different types of Muay Thai entertainment, maybe go to that route and film those. I think it'd be a lot more understandable and entertaining for the American audience.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it seems like they're branching out a bit. I think they're going into Lithway as well.
Oh, okay. That'll be
so that's interesting. So
wow. With
WLF, which is led by Gerald NG. No, I've read his name.
I'm not sure, but Lethway is crazy. Yeah. I think Stadium Muay Thai and Lethway is completely different.
Yeah,
like Lethway, where they do headbutts, they don't even wear gloves. They wear just hand wraps.
Like Katchuak.
Yeah, but the headbutts are crazy because they lower their body down, and then as soon as they shoot up, they'll shoot up across the person's face rather than like a Westerner would just like kind of collide the heads.
Wah-bang.
No, they go down and then shoot up. Yeah. Weird? Just
I don't
crazy.
know. I've never seen it. So.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I think the American audience will definitely be surprised.
Yeah. I mean, there's been a little bit of a boom in bare knuckle boxing in the States.
Oh, in the UK as well. They had that.
I'm not sure what is going on with that though, because I heard, rumor mill at least says that a lot of the athletes aren't getting paid. So this is maybe unsubstantiated. So maybe I shouldn't say that. But
not just like that, but it's just dangerous, And if you do it in the West, where even some of the states or wherever, some of the governments in some places are considering Muay Thai because they have elbows and things like that, and then you want to put Lethway in there, or if you want to put in no gloves boxing, that's a lot more dangerous, I would say.
I mean, all combat sports are pretty dangerous. You look at what happened to Sage Northcutt, ouch. Cosmo Alexander just shattered a very nice guy's face.
He did also land on his face in the ring as well. I'm sure that probably added towards the injury.
Yeah, I mean, and in any sort of sports you have injuries,
Yeah, you do.
Maybe
definitely.
not in
American football.
Soccer, though.
I mean, they like to pretend that their legs hurt sometimes and roll around on the field. No.
But definitely, in football, a lot of those guys get concussions all the time and keep playing, and they end up, being more punch drunk than the average boxer.
Yeah, we were just talking about concussions and how the brain has no pain receptors. So people are getting hit in the head over and over again and not even realizing the damage until they start slurring the words and drooling.
Whoops.
I don't mean anyone. I just, example.
Yeah. You're not talking about me, I hope.
Wait, you got something on your mouth? Anyway, Matt, any more fights that you plan on fighting? Or, what's your plan in terms of being a fighter?
So, like I said, I'm sort of in a recreational phase of my fight career. If I can lose some weight, I'll start fighting again at a low level. I don't have huge aspirations.
Now, where are you training?
Fairtex.
That's good then.
Yeah, it's
That's
cool.
Really
it's great for me. I train 5-6 days a week, and I don't really need to do that much more to be ring ready.
Are you running?
I run.
Oh, that's good.
I run 5 days a week, 3 kilometers or 3 miles every time. Then pads and sparring and all that stuff. I don't need to do that much more to sort of get myself ring ready. I just need to lose weight, which means I need to quit drinking and quit eating sugar
because
stuff,
when you fight at a higher weight than your comfort zone, then you feel much slower, and also your opponent is probably much bigger than you.
Yeah, and I'm not a very tall guy, so I'll be like a roly-poly puddle of dough against some
Hey, you can get into
giant.
sumo. Being a little bit bigger, you can get into sumo.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Maybe I gotta change my diet into pure rice and I don't know.
Yeah.
Move to Japan.
Do they have sumo anywhere else but Japan?
I've
probably
never
do.
never seen it out here in Thailand.
No, I've never seen it here either.
So,
but I mean, Thai people are getting bigger.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, they got introduction of what's it? Taco Bell just opened here,
yeah.
right? Krispy Kreme opened not too long ago. So all you American franchises coming to Thailand, making our people big.
Terrible.
But seriously, the rate of diabetes in Thailand is pretty high.
Yeah, there's so much sugar in everything. My friend John, he's like, he has 2 kids, and he's always super paranoid because everyone's always trying to give the kids the sugar all the time.
It's so annoying. They think it's cute to have like fat babies.
Yeah.
But like it's not cute having a kid with heart conditions and like diseases, you know?
When I've gone out to Isan before, I've seen kids with black teeth.
Oh no.
Just from too much sugar.
I mean, maybe they think like, what's that movie, Big Daddy, with Adam Sandler, when they just give him lots of sugar because they said that the teeth is going to fall out anyway.
Or maybe they think it's like betel nuts.
Oh, betel nuts. They love chewing on those. It's like it looks like a palm tree, right? And it has like these red
Have you ever tried it before?
No. Like a lot of these...
we should get us some betel nuts.
Countryside Thais like to chew on these red nuts, and it makes their mouth and teeth red and
it used to be a sign
awful.
Of prosperity, actually. If you
well, I mean, they love
like
their little superstitions and traditions.
Yeah, a lot of the like courtesans and stuff used to do it all the time. I'm serious. Like I read letters to Bhutan, I think it is, or some other big dynasty book about Thailand, and everyone was eating it all the time.
I mean, I guess that's how a lot of these traditions start off. It's like it's just a rumor after a rumor, right? And then they start to believe it because everyone starts doing it. You know, everyone just goes.
So obviously, we should start a rumor to try and get people to do things.
Like what?
I don't know.
We'll think about that. Yeah, we'll add that to the footnotes also. No. Just so you know, here's next craze.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else you want to talk about? Anything you want to mention?
I don't think so.
Anything exciting happening in the Muay Thai world in Thailand right now? Nothing really, no. Like I said in my previous video, it's kind of dry at the moment.
I mean, I think it's stable and it's slowly.
Do you?
I think it's.
I think Max Muay Thai is stable.
Yeah, Max Muay Thai is stable.
Thai fight is stable.
Thai fight is stable.
And the stadium Muay Thai.
The stadiums are stable. I think. Different regions. Isan is relatively stable. Chiang Mai is...
Oh, yeah. Chiang Mai's doing good with promoting girl fights.
Now,
the tourist areas are doing good because they still have tourists going there and paying tickets to go watch the fights.
And, now there's even more accessibility to Thailand from other countries. So I think it's slowly growing. You're also seeing more international shows. Rebellion, Yokao is having stuff.
Oh yeah, Yokao having a show coming up, but not in Thailand.
No, it's in Australia.
Oh yeah, Australia Muay Thai is coming up. Yeah,
it's pretty good.
They're having a lot of good fighters going over there. Yeah, Rebellion is also in Australia.
In the States, you have the USMF, which is like the IFMA branch in the States, doing a lot of things. They have like a YDL, which is a youth branch, which has a lot of little kids fighting all the time. So I think in 3 or 4 years, America might actually be good at Muay Thai.
No, yeah, they're definitely getting better. Yeah. I think they have a good group of fighters actually.
So overall, I think it's improving.
But internationally, but in Thailand, so yeah, it's just the ones that we mentioned. I said that there is those promotions that come and go. There's quite a lot of those, so they need to figure their stuff out.
Yeah. I mean, it's a hard game.
It is a hard game, definitely.
I mean, you've promoted before. It's hard.
A lot of it is all connections as well. So, like in the big stadiums, Rajamner, Lumpini, all the different channels, it's a group. It's a group. You need to have connections with the promoter or whoever, and it's like it remains that group. Same thing, like you said, for Max Muaythai, mostly all those gyms are connected around Chonburi. And then there's Thai Fight, who have their selected Thai fighters, only those. So yeah, it's all about connections.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's like that with any industry, though. You know, if you want to get in, you need to meet people, you need to hustle hard, you need to sort of understand the infrastructure and terrain of the sport.
I don't know. I think it's more so like that with fight sports in Thailand.
Yeah.
One championship also. I mean, like we said earlier, like one championship have a relationship with Pet Shindy, Fairtex, and obviously Evolve. So
yeah, and I mean they have to have connections with the other gyms as well, like Jit Muang Non or PK Sanchai, where a lot of other good fighters come from, which means one championship needs to be sensitive about when the other, like say Ratong is fighting, who's a star on one championship. He's also fighting at the stadiums, so they need to be aware of the stadium structure and scene as well. So it's a lot to go.
Sengmani.
Oh yeah, Sengmani has been on a bit of a decline lately.
Yeah. He's partying too much, I think.
Partying.
He's at that age.
I mean, I think it's hard for athletes when they've been fighting their entire lives and
they get big, they get a good payday,
and
then they kind of blow it.
Well, I mean, there's that, but it's also a grind, just fighting every 5 to 6 weeks.
He's now partly with Sanctium Gym. Yeah, but I don't think he has any fights coming up. I've not heard much.
Yeah, I remember he was knocked out by Tawan Chai.
Yeah, do you see it?
Oh
my God.
Yeah, I saw it, I think.
Teeps in the face, and then I think a head kick after that. It was pretty bad.
Tawan Chai is good, though.
He is very good.
And he's coming up, and he has some momentum behind him. We'll see how long he lasts, though.
Yeah.
He could very much fall the same way as Sangmani.
I feel like now it's hard to follow just one place, because it's totally scattered now, the Muay Thai. Whereas before, Lumpini, the old Lumpini, you could just follow that. And also Muay Siam. Muay Siam is the Muay Thai magazine of Thailand, pretty much, newspaper. And they used to have a print one that was out every day. And now they don't have that anymore.
They have a weekly,
online, though. Oh, it's still printed, the weekly one?
Yeah, I think it's weekly.
Okay. Because I know the daily one don't.
Yeah, the daily one is gone, which is unfortunate.
It is a little bit, yeah.
It's very unfortunate.
I saw Pipop, who is a photographer for Muay Siam, yesterday at that event that was at the Muay Thai industry for SME cluster. They were trying to promote the Muay Thai industry in Thailand. It was okay. There wasn't much people. I don't think they selected the day and time very well.
Yeah, I mean it's hard. It's probably budget constraints and stuff.
It was Thai Tourism Authority.
Oh, so
they could have pumped in more money.
Yeah,
it wasn't really about the money. It was more about the time of day, and also right now the tourism industry is quite low.
Yeah,
it's low season, so they should have chose the higher season to do it, and probably not do it in the middle of the day when it's so hot.
Yeah, it's also Thailand is becoming more expensive. So for Westerners, it's becoming harder to come out as well.
And a lot of them are now going to places like Indonesia and around, but actually Indonesia are having riots right now. So
it keeps the cost down. Well, some costs at least.
All right. What are you working on any other books right now?
So I'm slowly working on a book about fighting in Thailand. We'll see how long it takes me, though. And then,
that's interesting. Are you going to interview different people?
I've actually done a handful of interviews already.
Oh, nice.
So it would basically cover some of the major areas in Thailand, the north, Isan, central, and the south. Interview different people, talk about purses, cornering. I feel a lot of the infrastructure that a lot of foreign fighters don't know and don't understand.
I think that's a great idea because, there is a lot of blurriness there in the industry. A lot of foreigners, like you said, don't understand. They'll come over here with more expectations, and then when they go to fight, they get like 3,000 baht or something. They're not going to understand what is happening.
Yeah, and also, they come over and they're like, I won this fight. It was 3,000 baht, and they think they're the champion of the world.
And then they'll go back home and open a gym. Yeah.
And it's like, oh no, bro, you fought for nothing,
And your opponent just found out about the fight this morning.
Yeah, they're making extra money for, their motorbike or whatever.
Yeah.
So, and I think a lot of foreigners don't understand that and or don't want to understand that.
Yeah, that's true too.
Because
the truth hurts.
Yeah, the truth hurts. And also, Thailand has a traditional tourist background. And so a lot of people are coming over as tourists. And there is a very, very large Muay Thai tourism industry.
Yeah, there is. Phuket.
And so, Phuket is a major spot. You come over, you fight someone for not a big purse, you win, you get a sakyan, you go home, and you tell everyone.
Sakyan meaning Thai tattoo.
Yeah. Do you have one?
I have a white one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'll show you later.
Okay.
But I am Buddhist, so it means more to me than just like a holiday tattoo.
Okay. You don't have to defend it.
Okay. Do you have one?
No, I don't. I sort of want one, though.
They are cool.
It's like the Muay Thai tramp stamp.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, I'm good with that. Are you good?
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you so much for having me on the show,
Thank
Jade.
you so much for coming on the show, Matt. And you have your own podcast?
I do. I'll be launching it soon. So
called?
It's On Fighting in Thailand.
Fighting in Thailand.
On Fighting in
Thailand.
Yep.
Is that the name of your book as well?
Yes, that will be the name of the book. But we'll see when the book comes out. I don't want to overhype it if I end up getting lazy. Let's be honest,
Well, I hope your book goes well. I hope your diet goes well.
Thank you.
You sound really, really determined in both of them. And your fighting career. All right, so thanks so much.
I just like to be, I'm into the things that I know I'm going to do. I'm not into publicizing things I'm not sure I'm going to be able to do.
Right.
So when I'm at like 80 kilos now. When I'm at 72 kilos, I'm going to be like, I'm on a motherfucking diet. When I publish a book, I'm going to be like, I published a book. I'm not going to be like, I wrote 10 sentences. I ate a carrot today. I'm on a diet. I wrote a book. That's just me.
Hey, you had a banana and an apple.
Yeah, I had a banana and apple. The lovely snacks here over at the Jade Marrisa Podcast. Kingdom.
All right. Thanks so much. And I'll see you next episode. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.